Well, hello everyone, welcome back to another vlog from Veg Grower Podcast. Now today I want to get in my greenhouse and have a bit of a sort out and make some room in there. But firstly, I've noticed my rhubarb plant out here has put on a flower stalk. Now this does this every year for some reason. It's probably getting a bit old, so I might have to get changing it at some point. Crikey, that's tough. But normally all I do is just snap that off and we'll compost that and that'll be it. Let's head on into the greenhouse. Right, well, stepping in here, there's not a huge amount of room, which is a shame because I need to start putting some of the beds in here into use. Now down this side we've got a lot of my little seedlings in the root trainers, a lot of endive, brassicas, lettuce, cucumbers, and actually where they are at the moment they're fine, they're not so much in the way. But on this side I do want to start getting this into use. Now down on this side I've got more seedlings, tomatoes, aubergines, peppers. It's still too cold to pot outside, but we'll move those out to the cold frame, although I may plant some actually in this bed in just a moment. But also in here I've got a trug of carrots, which I think they're going to stay because I don't really want to disturb those. My peach tree, that's actually well, that tends to stay in the greenhouse till about May, so I don't get peach leaf cull, but I can probably move that on the path and just move it out during the day and back in at night. And then we got my potato pots. Now these were a variety called Home Guard, which were planted back in February. They're grown very, very well actually. So I think I'm going to move those out to the cold frame and start hardening them off. I need to mulch them at some point. I've got to find some compost and what to do that with. So let's make a start at moving these things outside into the cold frame. And we'll just leave my peach tree outside for now, and then I can keep bringing that in overnight. Now I do that to avoid peach leaf curl, which is a real problem especially here, but I'm sure it'll be fine now as long as I bring it in overnight, or if it rains, or ideally probably not so much when I'm working in there. Anyway, that's cleared me a bit of room now, so I can get in there and plant out some of my tomatoes, so come on in. Right, well, this greenhouse is getting rather warm now. I've moved a lot of my seedlings out to the cold frame where they can start hardening off. Some of them will go down to the greenhouse down on the allotment tomorrow, but the main thing is I've cleared some space in here. Now I haven't just pot those out in the cold frame willy-nilly. I pot some sacrificial plants out, tomatoes and aubergines, a couple of days ago just to see how they get on, with a view that if they die, it's not the end of the world. Unfortunately they didn't die, they survived, so they should be okay. Now a couple of weeks ago I was at an event and I saw a stand from Sutton's and they gave me this tomato plant. I can't remember the variety, but I'm looking forward to seeing how it grows on. It's looking really nice and big, but I want to get it in the ground. Now simply a case of just plonking it in the ground and cover it over. I'll water that in just a second. I've got to warm a watering can up to the temperature of the greenhouse before I water it. Instead of putting canes in here, which I find can be a little difficult and it's easy to forget to tie them in, or you've got to get a bit of string to tie it in, what I found much easier is that I run a piece of string along the top of the greenhouse and then run another piece down to the tomato plant. This is then simply tied around the bottom of the plant, fairly taut, but I don't want to strangle the bottom of the plant either. And then as the plant grows, we just twist it around this bit of string, like so. and that just makes my life a lot easier when it comes to tying plants in. Right, I'm going to put some aubergines in here and possibly a pepper and more tomatoes, and then I'll meet you over by the potting bench to show you something that I'm potting up in just a moment. Well, that has now got 2 tomato plants, an aubergine plant and a pepper plant planted in the greenhouse along that left hand side. The right hand side at the moment is still full of the seedlings on the shelves, and that's fine because I'll use that later on throughout the year. But what I have in front of me today, I've got some of these, what are they? They're kohlrabi. Never really tried growing these before, and they're well in need of pricking out, which is what I'm going to do now. I mean, this is one of those tasks that it takes a while, but is so worth doing. I've never actually really grown kohlrabi or used it before, so I'm kind of intrigued as to how these are going to turn out and how they're going to turn out on the dinner table. I know they're a brassica, so I assume they got similar growing conditions to the likes of cabbages and what have you, and I think I'm going to have quite a few of these plants. Well, that's it for today, so thank you again so much for joining me. It's been another busy day here at the modern day Victory Garden. What have you been up to in your own garden or allotment? Please let me know in the comments, and I really appreciate all those that are watching and joining in the conversation. It's really building at the moment into something that I can see us doing a lot more of in the future. Well, that's it for today. I'm going to carry on and finish these off, and I'll let you lot guys carry on with the rest of your day. But whatever you're doing, please take care, and I'll see you again next time.